a Christian student senator, this is according to Cassie Dillon over at Daily Wire, a Christian student senator at the University of California, Berkeley, is now being ousted from her position after abstaining from a resolution that condemns the Trump administration for considering narrowing the definition of gender. I'm not kidding you, abstaining. So this student senator, a Christian, refused to vote along with a resolution that condemned the Trump administration for saying men are men and women are women. And now the student senator is going to lose her position. The resolution was introduced on October 31st. In response, Isabella Chow gave a statement explaining why she could not vote on the resolution because of her Christian beliefs. She says, "My God is one who assigns immeasurable value to and desires to love each and every human being. In God's eyes, and therefore my own, every one of you here today and in the LGBTQ community as a whole is significant, valid, wanted, and loved, even if and when our views differ. That said, I cannot vote for this bill without compromising my values and my responsibility to the community that elected me to represent them. As a Christian, I personally do believe that certain acts and lifestyles conflict with what is good, right, and true. I believe that God created male and female at the beginning of time and designed for marriage between one man and one woman. For me, to love another person does not mean that I silently concur when at the bottom of my heart, I do not believe that your choices are right or best for you as an individual. After lengthy conversations with many of my community leaders and advisors, I have chosen to abstain from voting on these bills tonight." The resolution condemned the proposed Title IX changes that limited gender identity to physical sex. The party of which Chow is a member, Student Action, then cut ties with her, claiming there are inconsistencies between her beliefs and the party, including perspectives on reproductive health and wellness resources. So abstaining was simply too much. And of course, she got called a bigot. Teddy Lake, a student senator who introduced the resolution, condemned Chow and said tonight was a harrowing reminder of the kind of bigotry that persists in contemporary society and more specifically sits across from me on the Senate floor. In just a second, I want to talk more about how bad science results in bad public policy. This is a very obvious case. I mean, it's really astonishing. So again, a Christian student who was ousted from her seat in the Berkeley Student Senate for having the temerity to say, I'm a Christian and I can't vote for this thing because it violates my values. And so she abstained. She didn't even vote against it. And thus she was labeled a bigot. Teddy Lake, again, the student senator who introduced the resolution, he said, "I cannot fathom the amount of cognitive dissonance required to make a statement as disingenuous and harmful as the one Senator Chow made tonight. The contradictions present in her speech are frankly disturbing and irreconcilable. Perhaps what most offends me, though, is Senator Chow's outrageous ask that we, as a Senate class, respect her beliefs as she does ours." Why is that outrageous? And the answer is it's not outrageous. But when you believe that your view is fact and everybody else's view is just an opinion, then you get to crack down on them. Teddy Lake says, "To that end, I'd like to clarify that what Senator Chow expressed tonight were not beliefs at all. They were not beliefs at all. They were hateful prejudices that deserve nothing less than the strongest condemnation from myself, my community, and my colleagues. I have no obligation to entertain or engage with individuals who deny my right to exist loudly and proudly as a member of the LGBTQ plus community." Okay, well, this particular student senator never did any of that. But again, when you back political opinion with bad science, you end up believing that your opinions are fact and therefore can be crammed down on anybody else. And their opinions are not opinions, but in fact, simply hateful knee-jerk prejudice. Chow then sent an op-ed to the school newspaper, the Daily Cal, but that op-ed was rejected because it reinforces her original statement, which they deemed utilized rhetoric that is homophobic and transphobic by the Daily Cal's standards. Pretty astonishing. The Queer Alliance Resource Center condemned Chow and called for her resignation. At the Senate meeting last week, students protested, hundreds, and even had a large banner that said, "Senator Chow, resign now." Pretty astonishing stuff. Astonishing stuff. Chow gave the Daily Wire a statement that said, "For me and the church here at Berkeley, free speech is an issue that has been highlighted, but is not the primary issue at stake here. As one of my staffers put it, this is people issue. People who feel hurt and unable to reconcile how the traditional Christian worldview can profess to love LGBTQ individuals while disagreeing with their lifestyles and the promotion of their identities. Even if the church continues to be misunderstood and slandered, our responsibility is not to shout our beliefs loudly above the noise, but to emulate the unconditional love and truth of Jesus." So obviously, this is a hateful, terrible person. And we know so because science.